Hello, Dana Kay here. You know, as someone who's knee-deep in the world of ADHD, I often encounter some pretty persistent myths that circulate about ADHD. So today, we're going to bust open 10 common ADHD myths wide open, giving you the tools you need to advocate for your child more effectively. So if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our valuable content. So let's dive right in. Myth number 1, diet changes don't affect ADHD. Now, this is where we have to challenge conventional wisdom. Some people assume that diet is irrelevant when it comes to ADHD, but let me set the record straight. While diet alone isn't a magic cure for ADHD, it's an incredibly potent tool in your toolbox for managing symptoms. There are many studies that support the role of diet in managing ADHD symptoms. These studies have shown that removing highly inflammatory foods such as gluten, dairy, soy, excessive sugar, and artificial flavors and colors can have a profound impact. These dietary changes can reduce inflammation in the body, which in turn can positively affect brain function and lessen ADHD symptoms. But it's not just about what you remove from your diet. It's also about what you add in. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like fish, flax seeds, and walnuts have been shown to improve concentration and reduce hyperactivity. So yes, while diet is not the be-all and end-all, it's an essential piece of the puzzle. And for many families, tweaking the diet has been a game changer, leading to more manageable ADHD symptoms. Moving on to myth number 2, exercise is just a distraction. People often think of exercise as a distraction for kids with ADHD, but the reality is, exercise is not just a way to blow off steam. It's a great way to help manage ADHD symptoms naturally. Science backs this up too. Physical activity that requires sustained attention and discipline like martial arts or dance are particularly beneficial. These activities are enhancing their cognitive function. Numerous studies show that engaging in regular structured physical exercise can lead to significant improvements in attention span, impulse control, and emotional regulation. Here's why. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins, these feel-good chemicals. Exercise also triggers the release of dopamine and norepinephrine. These are neurotransmitters or hormones that play a pivotal role in attention and focus. Yes, the very areas that are most challenging for children with ADHD. Exercise is also a natural stress reducer. So, to say exercise is just a distraction is to overlook a multitude of benefits that go far beyond merely passing the time or tiring out your child. Number 3, it's a touchy one and one that I hear all the time. ADHD is a result of bad parenting. Listen, I understand that this myth hurts right there. You pour your love, your time, your energy into raising your child, and then someone implies it's your fault your child has ADHD. Let's set the record straight. ADHD is not the result of bad parenting. It's a neurological disorder including both genetics and environmental influences. It's been studied rigorously and medical science supports its status as a legitimate condition. Simply put, you're not doing anything wrong. You're navigating a challenging situation. Now, one thing I do want to add, even though you didn't cause your child's ADHD, you can still help them a lot. Sure, you can't parent away ADHD, but you can undoubtedly impact the severity of its symptoms. Diet and lifestyle changes, for example, you can help them manage their ADHD symptoms effectively, and you can be the guiding force in implementing these strategies. Also, by understanding ADHD, its symptoms, its challenges, its impacts, you arm yourself with the knowledge that can be incredibly empowering. The more informed you are, the better you can advocate for your child in school settings, social scenarios, and medical contexts. Informed parenting is empowered parenting. So just because ADHD is not your fault doesn't mean you can't be a part of the solution. Your love, your understanding, and your proactive approach can make a world of difference in your child's life. The 4th myth, I don't like this one. Children with ADHD are just lazy. This myth is not only misleading, it's also incredibly unfair to the unique challenges and potential of kids with ADHD. You see, many children with ADHD are in fact very intelligent and very creative. They possess a way of thinking and problem solving that can be really innovative. So why are they often labeled as lazy or unmotivated, especially in traditional learning environments? Because these settings are generally not catering to their neurodiversity, particularly the executive function challenges they face. Let's talk about executive functions for the moment. These are the mental skills that help us manage time, pay attention, change focus, plan and organize, and remember details. For kids with ADHD, these functions can be impaired, making it difficult to perform tasks in a way that's expected by schools and society at large. But let's be clear, struggling with executive functions is not the same as lacking the will or the desire to accomplish things. It's like having a high-performing car with misaligned steering wheel. The potential is there, but steering in the right direction requires extra effort. Also, the struggle with executive functions does not mean they can't succeed. With the right tools, strategies, and supportive environments, many kids with ADHD flourish, finding unique pathways to express their talents and capabilities. They may excel in artistic pursuits, sports, or any area that taps into their innate gifts. And that's why we're here, to help provide the resources and the strategies and the techniques to help them thrive with ADHD. Fifth on our list, ADHD only affects boys. This is a huge misconception, and it is not just wrong, it perpetuates a harmful gender bias in diagnosis and treatments. ADHD does not discriminate based on gender, it's an equal opportunity condition. It's true the way symptoms manifest can differ between boys and girls. So typically, boys with ADHD are more likely to display hyperactivity and impulsivity, symptoms that are more easily recognized and as a result more frequently diagnosed. Girls may exhibit symptoms like inattentiveness, daydreaming, or emotional dysregulation, which can be less overt and sometimes misunderstood as merely personality traits or even moodiness. This leads to a concerning issue: late or missed diagnosis for girls, often extending into adulthood. But why does this matter? Because ADHD in girls often goes unrecognized, they miss out on crucial early interventions that could provide them with the coping skills and strategies needed to navigate life more freely. These tools that can help them manage symptoms, reduce symptoms, bolster self-esteem, and generally improve quality of life. Opportunities that should be available to everyone, regardless of gender. So let's put this myth to rest once and for all. ADHD affects both boys and girls, and understanding this fact is the first step towards a more inclusive and more effective approach when it comes to diagnosis and treatment. Are you guys ready for myth number 6? Myth number 6, ADHD will be outgrown. This view does a disservice to both children and adults living with ADHD, as well as their families who are seeking long-term solutions. It's true that the outward expression of ADHD symptoms may change over time. For example, hyperactivity in children might transform into restlessness or in an inability to relax in adults. But the underlying factor that contributes to ADHD remain present. The truth is, the majority of people diagnosed with ADHD in childhood will continue to experience varying degrees of symptoms into adolescence and into adulthood. When ADHD is presumed to be a childhood disorder, adults who continue to struggle with its symptoms may face stigmatism or misunderstandings. They may be labeled as irresponsible or erratic, when in reality they are contending with a neurological condition that has persisted since childhood. Okay, rounding the corner to myth number 7. Medication is the only treatment for ADHD. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against medication in all situations, but it is sadly often the only treatment option that's provided to families. No alternative approaches are even offered, leaving families feeling hopeless if they wanted to try a more natural route or if their child has experienced side effects to medication in the past. This is exactly what happened with my son. We were only given one treatment option when he was diagnosed: medication. So when that medication created awful side effects, we felt completely hopeless. There are other options, more natural options that can be just as effective as medication, and these alternatives should be provided to parents all the time. Lifestyle changes can offer powerful benefits. This includes dietary adjustments like cutting out highly inflammatory foods such as gluten, dairy, soy, and artificial additives, which can exacerbate symptoms. Exercise is another component, as is breathing for the brain, optimizing detoxification, and using targeted supplementation following functional lab testing. The bottom line is that medication is not the only option and parents should be offered alternatives. Myth number 8, ADHD isn't a real medical condition. ADHD is not only real, but also extensively studied and medically recognized. ADHD has been described and documented in various forms for well over a century. Yes, you heard that right, over 100 years. Some of the earliest scientific publications outlining symptoms similar to ADHD date back to the early 20th century. So it's not a new or trendy condition, it's a well-established area of medical research. ADHD is recognized by reputable medical organizations worldwide, including the American Medical Association, the American Psychiatric Association, and the World Health Organizations. These organizations provide diagnostic criteria that healthcare professionals use to identify and treat this condition, based on symptoms like inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. Even modern imaging technologies like MRI scans have observed differences in brain structure and activity between individuals with and without ADHD. So let's put that myth to rest. ADHD is real and it's a medically recognized condition supported by a wealth of scientific data. Number 9, people with ADHD can't focus on anything. This could be farther from the truth. While it may be challenging for those with ADHD to maintain attention on tasks they find boring, when it comes to topics or activity that they're generally interested in, the level of focus can be quite remarkable. This is often referred to as hyperfocus. Hyperfocus is a unique facet of ADHD, a kind of intense concentration that can be so deep, it's as if the world around them fades away. This is not the same thing as being easily distracted. It's actually the opposite. Now, it's important to note that while hyperfocus can be beneficial in some situations, like problem solving or creative endeavors, it can also have its downsides. The intense focus can sometimes lead to neglecting other important tasks, responsibilities, or relationships. So people with ADHD are certainly capable of focusing. It's just the way they focus can differ from the general population, and it often occurs in a more polarized manner, either struggling to focus or intensely concentrating, depending on the task at hand. And finally, myth 10. ADHD is only a problem in the classroom. The impact of ADHD stretches far beyond school. It affects social interactions, home life, and even long-term career prospects. While it's true that symptoms of ADHD can significantly impact performance, academic performance, ADHD is far-reaching and extends well beyond the school environment. It affects social interactions. Children with ADHD may experience challenges with social cues, impulse controls, and emotional regulation. This could result in misunderstandings, strained friendships, and difficulty in group activities both inside and outside of the school. Then there's the home life. Imagine trying to manage chores, organize belongings, or even just sustain focus on family activities when you're struggling with ADHD. It can make home life feel disorganized and stressful, not just for the person with ADHD, but also for family members who are trying to adapt and support them. ADHD can even have long-term implications for career prospects. Executive function challenges associated with ADHD, such as difficulty with time management, organization, and sustained attention, can create obstacles in various professions, even if the individual is talented or highly skilled. The executive function challenges can sometimes overshadow these talents in a work environment that values punctuality, attention to detail, and consistent productivity. Let's also not forget the emotional toll that ADHD can take. Anxiety, low self-esteem, and frustration are often linked to ADHD and can affect a person's well-being in every facet of life, from relationships to job performance and mental health. Even everyday tasks that many take for granted can be hard because of ADHD, like shopping, paying bills, or even just maintaining a consistent routine. For someone with ADHD, these tasks can require a huge amount of energy and mental focus. Now, listen, we've just cracked the surface on ADHD myths. There are others I didn't mention in this video, but if you found this useful, please hit the like button below and share this video with others who could really benefit so we can help spread awareness about ADHD. Now, until next time, remember, you are doing an amazing job. You're parenting a child with ADHD. It can be challenging, but there is hope and you're never alone on this journey. Take care. Bye for now.